We are tracking that bombshell Wall Street Journal reporting that the Justice Department told Trump in May that his name is among many in the Epstein files. The White House denies the reporting. Before that story broke, Politico reported Trump was furious and frustrated by the all-consuming Epstein coverage. Allies reportedly describing the mood inside the administration as, quote, haunted. One person saying, quote, it's the first time I've seen them sort of paralyzed. Trump losing the ability to dominate the narrative, as Politico puts it. A White House ally saying, quote, they're the ones that opened the can of worms on the Epstein conversation. No one made them do this, which makes it sting even worse. Today, newly surfaced 2023 comments from FBI Director Kash Patel underscore how Trump allies helped fuel all of this.
The same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Joining me now is Michael Cohen, host of the Substack channel @TheRealMichaelCohen and the Mea Culpa podcast. He was, of course, Trump's former lawyer. He knows the guy well, but he's now a leading critic. He entered Trump's orbit after Trump's fallout with Epstein, so Cohen did not personally witness their interactions. But he writes this about the Epstein files in his Substack, quote, you can't redact a reckoning. If Trump is named, if any public official is named, the files must show it. Michael Cohen, thanks for being back on with me. Good to see you. So I guess you just said it there. The files must show it. Now we have this new reporting from the Wall Street Journal. Does this change the calculus for you as this story unfolds?
No, it doesn't. Because, like I said on your show during the weekend, nice to have you here instead of Ari. Like I said on your show in the weekend, conspiracy theorists will never be satisfied. Meaning, no matter what is said, if you are a Trump supporter, it's all nonsense. If you are a Trump detractor, oh, Trump is guilty, he's guilty. I don't ascribe to either of those. Why? Because there's a file sitting on Pam Bondi's desk, the one that Kash Patel was just talking about, the one that we have all been talking about. There is a file of documents that have been put together by law enforcement agents for a multiple year investigation to Jeffrey Epstein. I don't want to start guessing. I don't want hypothesis. I don't want people's opinion. I want to see the facts. I want to see the documents. What if hypothetically he's named, but he's named in something that's innocuous, not criminal, not part of what Jeffrey Epstein is known for? Now, on the controversy side, what if hypothetically he's not? What if he's named in a negative manner? I don't want to guess which one, because, again, if you like him, you go one way. If you don't, you go the other way. I just want to see the documents. They should release the file. And if the president wants to know what they need to do in order to put an end to this endless conversation about Jeffrey Epstein, release the file.
Well, they must know that, and there's a reason why they haven't.
You see, you're doing exactly what I just said, right? You're coming up with an innuendo as to, or an opinion as to, well,
I don't have an opinion.
Well,
there are very valid reasons, because there are victims and survivors who are at the center of this story. We know that there is imagery of child pornography involved. So there's certainly no scenario in which 100% transparency is like humanely possible here.
100%. And these victims should not be exposed to more harm and pain than they've already gone through. But you can redact it.
But here's the thing, though. You know, you just spelled out what option they have to make people feel that there's more transparency here. But what we're learning in this reporting, right, is that in May, Bondi and her deputy informed the president at this meeting that his name was in the files. But then last week, when asked by a reporter, has Bondi by any chance told you your name's in the files? He lied.
Yeah, listen, is that the first time? Is that the first time that he ever did? But there's a scenario, right, where
they could have said, well, you know, like, yes, they were friends at one point, so his name's in there, but it's not anything, you know, untoward.
And if I was there by his side, that's the answer I would have told him to say.
So he's just getting bad advice because you're not there now?
Probably, but horrible advice, because, again, all it's doing is fueling the conversation. They are their own worst enemies right now. They are the ones that are fueling this conversation. They like to turn around and say, oh, it's the Democrats, as you showed in your teaser. This has been something for years now that Republicans have been on the attack, that this is all about some elite Democratic cabal of child sex traffickers and pedophiles. No, that's not what it is. And now they have to deal with the consequences of their actions.
Okay, so take us inside the head of Donald Trump. What's he thinking right now?
Well, I'm sure he's angry because he wants this to go away. There are more important things that he wants to talk about. More important to him, may not be important to us, but there are
You
more.
mean like the MLK files and
Sure,
these baseless allegations
or the
against
big
Obama?
beautiful bill, or the tariff win that he just claims that we got over, Japan and so on. There are things he wants to talk about. But I will tell you what MAGA Mike Johnson just delivered for the president by now releasing the House on an early summer vacation. By the way, at our expense, the taxpayers.
Right.
What he did is he gave him a lifeline that this isn't going to go on, and they're not going to talk about this all the way till September 2nd when they return. And so it's not now in front of him as it would be tomorrow or Friday or Saturday, because eventually there's nothing else to talk about. House can't do anything. What I would have done, I was speaking with Joe Walsh on my Substack. We do a live on Wednesdays. You know what they could have done? They could have actually stayed in the House. All you need is one member, and they can't close it. And then stay for 4 hours. Let another member come in 4 hours, and then 4 hours. And find a Republican. Find one Republican, 2 Republicans, 4, 10, because we know which Republicans, especially the MAGA ones, don't want to see this go away. They want to see the file. So what they could have done, get them and then bring it to a vote themselves. Instead, they just lose these opportunities again and again. And again, the Democratic leadership really needs to step it up.
Well, they're going to have opportunities because, yes, their colleagues will come back in September. But we now know that Maxwell's going to be subpoenaed or deposed in August. There are all these other fronts.
And what do you think she's going to do? You think that she's going to be able to speak? I say she won't be able to.
If I were her, I would only speak if I got something out of it. So.
Well, I agree, but I don't believe that she's going to be able to speak. She has an appeal going on right now, and so her lawyers, and I know that they're very good, should probably turn around and say to her, just take the fifth on everything. You have an active case going on. In fact, it's actually improper that they're subpoenaing her because they're putting her in a position to harm herself.